The best way to know the true nature of a person would be to see what that person does to entertain themselves, as entertainment is solely based on their choices. In a broader context, entertainment reflects the societal values and development of the specific era too. Thus, the evolution of the entertainment from the Civil War era to the Roaring Twenties reflects deteriorations in American values because individuals in Roaring Twenties began to engage in illegal entertainment and prioritized their pleasures regardless of the consequence, which prevented people from fulfilling their own full potential. To begin, the characters in The Great Gatsby participated in illegal affairs to entertain themselves, unlike the March Sisters from the moral Civil War era, which indicates the decay of the values. The primary leisure activities of the March Sister included the plays that was excellent drill for their memories of harmless amusement, reading, and going to the theater. The fact that the author directly indicated that the play was harmless implies that the people during this era sought to find activities that were legal and would not cause any other problems. The value of extraordinary demands of the Victorian notions of altruism that the March Sisters grew up with in transcendentalist society would have shaped their priorities and led them to choose healthy ways to entertain themselves to become the best version of themselves. Meanwhile, the entertainment in Gatsby was different as it mainly included illegal activities. During the Roaring Twenties, the 18th Amendment was passed and it prohibited the manufacture, sale, transportation, importation, or exportation of intoxicated liquor for beverage purposes. However, drinking alcohol was depicted very frequently throughout the novel as a way to entertain themselves. For instance, champagne was served in glasses bigger than finger bowls at Gatsby's parties, and characters frequently drank a bottle of whiskey. Although drinking alcohol might not seem like a serious illegality, the problem is that they were breaking the law. This disobedience itself is showing how their values have declined compared to the dutiful March Sisters. The characters showed no self-control in terms of choosing what would be appropriate. Unlike the March Sisters, the people in The Great Gatsby cared very minimally about their character and just pursued activities that entertained them even if it was illegal. Thus, the evolution of entertainment into unlawful activities depicted in The Great Gatsby reflects the decay of American values. Next, the characters in The Great Gatsby seek to please themselves through entertainment despite the results of their actions, and this shows how their values decline compared to the Transcendentalist era. The March Sisters sought to pursue entertainment that would please themselves but also please people around them. For instance, the plays employed many hours which otherwise would have spent idle, lonely, or spent in less profitable society. However, in The Great Gatsby, the characters are careless enough to ignore the consequences of their actions on others. The emergence of Meyer Wolfsheim, a gambler, shows how gambling was a common entertainment for the people in the Roaring Twenties. In fact, gambling was a multi-billion-dollar business that underwent a transition parallel to the changes in American enterprise as a whole. The popularity of such action created to make people lose money indicates how people were solely focused on entertaining themselves. This evolution from selflessness to selfishness implies how people began to lose their values of community and self-control, which indicates deterioration. Although the characters in the novel were rich and gambling might not have affected them immediately, the careless values that they had about their possessions would have affected other essential aspects of their lives, like love and family. In addition to gambling, the excessive usage of alcohol by parents implies their values for immediate pleasures and carelessness. Daisy and Tom have a very young daughter who just began to perceive the world around her. The influence of parents is very essential since the children who learn from adults who play their roles in a distorted fashion are unstable, torn with dissension, culturally deviant, and socially disapproved. Tom and Daisy can be considered distorted parents as they often get tanked up a good deal at luncheon. This implies how careless Tom and Daisy were as they pursued drinking without considering what would happen to their child. They seemed to have fun, and this was all they cared about. Thus, such pursuits of fulfilling their immediate pleasures and being careless of the consequences reflect how deteriorated the values were. Ultimately, the shift in entertainment from the era of Little Women to the era of The Great Gatsby reflects how the values of people decayed as people became unlawful and careless to entertain themselves. Don't we still see some of the entertainment from the Roaring Twenties today? Does this indicate the continued deterioration of our values? The world has changed over 100 years since the time of Gatsby, but the deterioration of moral values has stayed with us for a century. Let this deterioration stop and the world might reach its ideal state with people always living as the best version of themselves.